So I feel the need to start off with a little bit of a disclaimer. In early July, I already had the illness. My videos aren't even monetized. Why am I trying to avoid saying corona? This is very distracting. We're pulling out a different pair of ears. Also, these usually light up, but you can't even tell that they're lighting up in this lighting, so I didn't light them up. Why did I even choose these? These ones are fake, so they're not as like clutchy. I already had the coronavirus in early July, and so did everyone else in my family. According to many different sources, we were immune, and we still are immune, at the time that we went to Disney World. So when we went to Disney World, we were fully aware that we were not going to be contributing to the pandemic at all, which is the only reason why we went. My recommendation, based on the things that I'm going to be talking about in this video, is if you haven't had the virus in the past 3-ish months, maybe don't go to Disney World. Of course, I can't tell people what to do with their lives, but also wear a mask and social distance. But yeah, since I've had the illness, it wasn't fun. Even if you do survive and you don't give it to someone else who ends up dying, which luckily is what happened to us. No one died. We're all okay. But it's still not a good time. And my symptoms really weren't even that bad. I was like mildly sick, but it was just extremely annoying because I had it for so long. I had it for like 2 weeks. Normally if I have like that kind of illness, I have it for a couple days. Like when I had the flu earlier this year, I had it for 3 days. I had the coronavirus for 2 weeks. Actually, no, 2.5 weeks? Something like that. So yeah, since I couldn't get the coronavirus and I couldn't give it to anyone else during that time, we decided it was a good time for us to take advantage of the situation because we knew that no one was in Disney World and just go. So that's what this video is going to be about. Hey kiddos, my name is Ariel. Welcome to my channel. Now that we've gotten the disclaimer out of the way, let's go on with this video. Like I said before the intro, I said for reasons that I'm going to explain, maybe don't go to Disney World. And that's because, like going into any public place, there is absolutely no guarantee that you are going to be 6 feet apart from everyone at all times. It is not a 24/7 guarantee. Some people, it appeared, thought that it was going to be a 24/7 guarantee because they literally walked right into us and went, whoa, 6 feet. Now, of course, no matter where you go, in any public place, whether it be the grocery store or, I don't know, anywhere else that's legally open and you're going there, you're not going to be 6 feet away from everyone at all times, no matter what measures are being taken by the place. They're going to put stickers on the ground, but whenever you pass from one sticker to the next, if there's someone from, you know, the other side moving forward, you're going to pass them and you're going to be less than 6 feet apart. That's just the way it works. So if your number one goal is to be staying 6 feet apart from everyone at all times, maybe don't go to Disney World right now. So let's get into the actual trip. Before we even got to the parks, there was something that I noticed about the Magical Express. Basically, when we got there, there was no one there. Just for reference, this is a picture I found of what the Magical Express normally looks like on the internet, and this is what it looked like when I was there. Yeah, there was no one there. This is going to be a recurring theme. There was no one there. And it was pretty clear that Disney had expected way more people to be there. They had a sign in front of the wait times that was like, your wait time might be up to 60 minutes. And there was no one there, so we waited about 2 minutes. The reason they said that the wait was probably going to be around 60 minutes was because I'm pretty sure for each hotel, first of all, there weren't that many hotels open. And second of all, for each hotel, I'm pretty sure they only had like one shuttle going to and from there, and it takes kind of a long time to get from the airport to the actual Disney World resort. They were also practicing some social distancing techniques on the bus. Basically, they would be like, okay, how many people in your group? And we were like, 4. And they were like, okay, so now you have to go into these seats. And we were like counting the rows as we went down, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And so then basically they had it so that we were 6 feet apart from everyone. And they did that on the public transportation too. They'd be like, okay, how many people? Okay, you go in these little clusters. And they had like barricades set up. On the Magical Express, they always play this video that annoys me to no end. I don't know what it is, no matter how many times they've updated it. The video is just always very annoying to me. They repainted the castle temporarily so that instead of it being silver and blue, it's like pink and like darker blue. And they changed the intro of the Magical Express video so that the castle was the right color. And I was like, huh, they took some time to do that. I wonder if they took any time to maybe fix the Yeti, because, you know, they were closed for a couple months. Did they fix the Yeti? Did they fix Rise of the Resistance? No. No, they didn't. They didn't fix those things. Which, you know, that's probably not their #1 priority, because, you know, they were like setting up all of those stickers so that people would say 6 feet apart, and they had to like record the frequent voiceover that you heard of the guy being like, make sure you're wearing your mask, please don't eat and drink while you're walking. Speaking of the pink castle, my favorite color is pink. In case you couldn't tell, my room is pink. I really like pink. And so I was very excited to see the pink castle. I thought it looked very cute. When we were there, it was very hot because it's Florida in August, and usually we don't go to Disney World in the summer because it's so hot, and usually it's also very crowded. One of those things we didn't have to worry about. The other thing we kind of had to worry about more because we had to wear masks. When we needed them most, they vanished. The masks were sweaty. They were not fun. Of course, it probably wasn't like that bad. I think a lot of us were probably just being very dramatic about the whole mask wearing situation because it's uncomfy, but it's necessary. Of course it is. A skin glow up since the last time we went to Disney World? It's more likely than you think. I wasn't really complaining too much about it. Like, the masks were sweaty, but they weren't sweaty enough to make me go fight a minimum wage employee. So I think it was fine. They also had hand sanitizer like before and after every single ride that you go on. And something I noticed about the hand sanitizer was that it was very flaky. Like, there was something in there. It almost felt like pulp. I don't think it's pulp, because I know they put pulp in orange juice, but like, is that something they would also put in hand sanitizer? I don't know. It was very weird, and it dried your hands out a lot, but like, it's hand sanitizer, so I'm not complaining. Like, they're giving us free hand sanitizer, and it's necessary, and it's important. A few minutes after getting into the park, they actually like gave us a notification on the Disney World app that was basically like, thank you for coming to Disney World during Rona because we are desperate for money right now, and your support really appreciates us, we appreciate your support. That's what I meant to say. It was like, please make sure that you are following the Corona guidelines. So, did people follow the Corona guidelines? Well, for the most part, yes. It wasn't that big of an issue. Most people were pretty on board with following the rules because they made it abundantly clear before you got there that you had to follow the rules. And if you don't follow the rules, you have to leave. And no one wants to leave their Disney vacation. That sounds terrible. I think everyone was pretty okay with following the rules. A couple times, I did see a little no-no, a couple bad things. This was also on the first day when we were at Magic Kingdom, where we were in line and we saw someone eating and walking at the same time, which they were not supposed to be doing. A cast member, which by the way, the cast members had to wear shields and face masks, which is good for them because I don't want any cast members getting sick. That would make me feel very guilty. They were eating and drinking while they were walking. They were not allowed to do that. That is against the rules. And of course they had their masks down because that's kind of what you have to do when you eat and drink. And that's why they say, don't eat and drink and walk at the same time because otherwise you're going to spread your germs. We don't want that. So the cast member says, hey, please put your mask up. And the guy goes, oh, okay. So he puts his mask up. He like turns and then he puts it back down. And it's like, if you're not gonna follow the rules, why did you come here? You got the child doing it too. Now, a lot of kids I noticed were being pretty good about it. I actually saw one kid, like their mask fell down because it was too big for them because there was a tiny little baby face, you know? And then they put it back up. They knew exactly what to do. So kids are capable of wearing masks and knowing to put the mask up. Why are you teaching your child not to do that? Honestly, if you think about it, it's Disney World. They have people out there wearing full mascot costumes. Imagine how they feel. They're probably not very comfy. Like, this area right here was pretty sweaty. But imagine what that's like if your entire body... I could never do that. So, shout out to the Disney cast members that have to wear those huge costumes. So because there weren't a whole lot of people there, we decided that we were gonna go on some rides that we usually don't go on because the lines are always long and it's honestly just not worth it. And by those rides, I mean Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Peter Pan. And I hadn't been on both of those rides in a very long time because, like I said, we normally don't go on them. But yeah, we waited 55 minutes for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, even though there were not a lot of people there. And I'm pretty sure it's because they had to clean all of the carts. And there are a lot of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train carts. Of course, for that ride, and for Peter Pan, the rides that we usually don't go on because the line is long, we were like, hey, the line's not gonna be long. Let's go. We went on there and the line was long because both of those rides they had to clean while they were waiting in line. Of course, I shouldn't complain because they cleaned the rides for us and that's very nice of them to make sure that no one's getting COVID. But also, of course it was those rides, of course. And you know, I hadn't been on Peter Pan since I was a child. And I went on there and I was like, yeah, I can see why we never go on Peter Pan. We also went on the Buzz ride and we didn't wait very long for that, but I was like, yeah, the Buzz ride kind of sucks. It's just like Toy Story Mania, but like on a budget. Not to roast the Buzz ride because like it's a good time. I got lots of good memories from the Buzz ride, but also, why does it look like that? Another thing that was changed was, I think normally at rides in Magic Kingdom there aren't really a whole lot of like queue videos or things like that. The only one that they really have is the Haunted Mansion elevator trick, where you know you go in and then you go down the elevator and then the people like stretch and it's all weird. Because of Rona, you know, they can't really like pack a bunch of people into a thing, so they had to skip the queue videos. So no Haunted Mansion elevator trick, you just walk in and it's automatically like on the level that's like that. And also they really don't need queue videos because no one's there. Now seems like a good time to talk about Florida summer weather. Florida is known as the Sunshine State, and I don't know where they got that name from because in the summertime it rains a lot. It rains every single day. So here are some videos of rain. It's like rain! Because it is a lightning storm and I... Rain! There's the sky. We didn't get to ride Big Thunder Mountain and Splash Mountain. Magic Kingdom kind of works like a circle, so we weren't like walking back and forth when we were at Magic Kingdom. We literally like started in Tomorrowland and like worked our way around. But by the time that we got to Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain, we couldn't go on because it was the end of the day and it had started raining and they closed the rides. Which means that I'm probably not going to go on Splash Mountain one last time before they retheme it, which I'm very excited for. But I just wanted to say goodbye to Brer Rabbit one last time. So, R.I.P. Brer Rabbit, Brer Bear, Brer Fox, all of those guys. So now we are on day 2 when we went to Animal Kingdom. When we were at our hotel, we got breakfast before we went there. The whole breakfast scenario was different, and they had us eat out of like throwaway or recyclable containers instead of like plates. And I think we had to order it online too, which I mean, I don't care, food is food. We went on Flight of Passage 3 times, like as in the number before 4. If you've seen any of my videos from going to Disney before, which by the way, this is the 3rd Disney video, which is so weird. I've had this channel for about 2 years now, and I hardly ever post, and this is my 3rd video about going to Disney World. We usually don't go to Disney World this often. This is not normal for us. But yeah, if you remember some of the other videos, which I will show you some clips from, the first time I went on Flight of Passage was when I was with my friends, and we waited 4 hours to go on Flight of Passage once. What did everyone think of the Avatar ride?
It was good, but like I didn't like waiting in line for 5 hours.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees with that.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
The second time, I think we waited about an hour, and that was because we got there like as soon as the park opened, and that wasn't the case the first time we went. This time, we went on Flight of Passage 3 times. We didn't wait long any of the times. We walked right on, like went about our day. Then towards the end of the day, we were like, hey, let's go on Flight of Passage again. So we did. And then, as we were getting off, there was someone like towards the exit that was like, hey, do you want to go on again? And we were like, yeah. She was like, okay, two-finger Disney point. This way. It was like, I think what used to be the Fast Pass entrance, but there were no Fast Passes because Rona. And so we just went through there, and then boop, we went right back on the ride again. And then we went through a different exit the time we got off the third time. It was a different person, and he was like, do you want to go on the ride again? And we were like, we just went on 3 times. I think we're about Flight of Passaged out. Remember when I talked about the absence of Q videos? There was no dinosaur Q video. Going back to Avatar, here's what they did with that Q video. They constantly repeat themselves about how you're going to be lined up with an avatar, and it's so like unnecessarily long.
The beginning of that ride where they just talk to you for like 7 minutes is not necessary.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, they have like this whole backstory of the ride that they don't need to tell you at all.
That's so boring.
Yeah.
They could have already stood for so long. They could have combined that into like 2 minutes of being like, hey, they said the same thing twice. Like, they were like, hey, you're gonna get combined with an avatar, and then 5 minutes later they were like, hey, you're gonna get combined with an avatar. And I'm like, just let me ride the ride, man.
My theory is that the line would actually be shorter if the Q video wasn't so long. But because there was no one there, first of all, but that's probably not what they were anticipating when they redesigned the Q video, they made it shorter so it makes actual sense and there's not like all of that unneeded stuff that like doesn't need to be there. And I'm kind of hoping, actually no, I'm not kind of hoping, I'm really, really hoping that they keep the video this way for the future, for when there's no Rona, because it's so much better. Like, that's how it should have been in the first place. Like, that's the only Q video change that I was happy about when we went there, that they just did it so that we weren't like standing on the numbers, and I'm so glad they shortened it. Oh my gosh, like why didn't they do that before? Why wasn't it always like this? Anyways. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I'm just gonna mention this right in the middle of the video. We didn't go to Epcot because it was kind of a last minute trip and we didn't really have time to fit it in. I'm making up for it by sipping out of an Epcot straw. Another thing about Avatar, since we were talking about the Avatar Q video, sorry this is all over the place. I'm not looking at my script because I'm speaking from the heart. Something that I noticed, in case anyone was wondering, you know how like you wear a mask and if you wear glasses, the glasses tend to fog up. For Flight of Passage, you have to wear 3D glasses. Fun fact, the 3D glasses actually don't fog up unless you're wearing a hat. Because I had a hat on the day we went to Animal Kingdom, and I took it off the first time, and then the second time I decided to keep it on, and that was when my glasses fogged up. So the masks actually don't make 3D glasses fog up, if that's what you're worried about when you go to Disney World. It doesn't happen. So, oh yeah, so we went past Dino-Rama. Dino-Rama is kind of the bane of my existence. There's 2 rides there, and then they have like carnival games, and it's such like a tonal shift between the rest of the park, because the rest of the park, they mean business. They take their jobs as theme park areas seriously. They look like Kilimanjaro, they look like Africa. Meanwhile, Dino-Rama Dino-Rama looks strange. It looks very strange. And apparently they were originally supposed to put a Beastly Kingdom there, and they decided that since it was the 90s and everyone was obsessed with dinosaurs, they were like, actually, dinosaurs. And in Beastly Kingdom they were supposed to have dragons and unicorns and maybe mermaids, I don't know. Like, they were supposed to have like mythical creatures there, and like, hold on a minute. Oh, there's a unicorn there. In my room, there's a unicorn there, there's a unicorn there, there's a unicorn there, there's a unicorn there, there's some more unicorns there. Oh! I have a unicorn onesie. I like unicorns a lot, in case you couldn't tell, and I could have had an entire theme park based on unicorns and their friends. But you know what we got instead? We got Dino-Rama. No Beastly Kingdom for us. Hello, this is me editing a couple months after I filmed this. I have bangs now. Here's what happened. I filmed this in September, still editing it in November. Keep in mind, we're talking about a trip that happened in August. So yeah, this is taking a long time. I got to about the 20-minute mark in the video when I was editing last night, and then I realized that this video was too long. It's way too long. It doesn't need to be this long, so I'm making it a two-parter. I don't know when part 2 will be up because, I mean, I haven't posted since August. An uploading schedule? We don't know her. We've never known her. With that being said, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe and turn on that bell so that you know when I upload part 2 and when I upload every other video that I end up uploading on this channel, so that way you know about it. You can also let me know that you liked this video by simply giving it a like and by commenting down below. And also let me know, what are some of your thoughts on Disney being open during this pandemic? I would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, so that is going to be it for today's video. Once again, keep your eyes peeled for that part 2. Which will come eventually, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys again for part 2.